Alrighty, we've got the Season 4 patch notes, and they are thick. Now, I haven't seen the Warzone ones yet. They're not out as of yet, but I'm assuming as we go through the Black Ops 6 ones, they will magically appear over on Twitter. So here we go. Here are the patch notes. Let's zoom in a little bit. Is that zoomed in too? Well, we should be fine. So we've already kind of talked about what is coming within Season 4, everything that is coming. We've looked at the roadmap, we've looked at all of this. So let's just go through the broad overview. We have the new multiplayer maps. First off, we have one called the Shutdown. It is 6v6. We have Fugitive. This is actually Fugitive, I believe. Shutdown is the power plant, and then the bridge is the Blitz. That's 6v6 and 2v2. Multiplayer modes, we have Team Elimination, which is basically kill confirmed with a set number of lives. We have new weapons. So the three new weapons are the LC-10, which is a battle pass weapon. I believe it's page 3. We have the FFAR, which is page 4. And then we have the Essex, which is the Model 7 marksman rifle. That is an in-season and an event reward. But the other thing in the battle pass is the G-Grip, which is a combination of a vertical foregrip and a laser sight. Then in season, in events, we have the 3-round burst for the Strider, the full auto mode for the SVD, and the CQB conversion kit for the TR2. Score streaks, we got the Grim Reaper. I said this before. I'm a little bit disappointed in this one. I've been wanting like a dogs or a non-player controlled or a non-weapon kill streak for a while. This is obviously not that. Zombies, we have Grief mode making a return, the PvPvE mode, which is actually more of a PvEVP mode if you actually think about it. The new ammo mod of Shatter Blast, new Gobblegums. Now, here we get into the actual changes. Firing range, adjusted the start spawn for search and destroy. Nomad fixed rendering distance of buildings. Modes free-for-all made improvements to free-for-all spawn logic. Pretty straightforward. Then we get right into weapons. So the XM4 CHF barrel, vertical recoil penalty reduced, so the CHF barrel is better, so more headshot damage essentially if you're using the CHF barrel. Marksman foregrip view kick reduction and gun kick reduction for that one, so better for that attachment. Heavy stock and combat stock reduction increased as well. So buffs to attachments for the XM4. For the AK-74, the range got increased by just a little bit, making it a little bit better, as well as the reduced recoil penalty from the CHF barrel and marksman foregrip as well. The Amy's 85, same thing, weapon attachments adjustments. The GPR, keep in mind everything that we're going through here is Black Ops 6. We will go into Warzone after this. GPR range increase, that's that, as well as the attachment adjustments. Same with the Model L, Goblin MK2. Then the AS Val got a mid damage increase. So between 19.2 and 43.2. AS Val will see a small increase to damage in its mid-range, which will reduce the number of headshots. So specifically a buff to headshots there. I was wondering what they were doing. Krieg C, same thing. Adjustments to marksman foregrip, heavy stock, and combat stock. Same thing for the Cypher. The Kilo remains a highly predictable and controlled weapon, but view kick will now need to be countered throughout the entire recoil pattern. So a little bit more recoil on that weapon. Then the AMAX will also receive a recoil nerf as well. There you go. Moving into SMGs, we have the heavy stock. So it seems like the way that they're balancing Black Ops 6 here is specifically with the foregrip and heavy stock and combat stock. Again, marksman foregrip, same thing there. For all of the SMGs as well. For the shotguns, heavy stock and combat stock adjustments to that. LMGs, we are continuing to look at ways to increase the effectiveness of LMGs while maintaining the class identity. This update will improve recoil base movement speeds for all LMGs. In particular, the movement speed while firing ADS is improved by about 10% in most cases. These changes are intended to help LMGs sit better. I don't think that'll be enough to make LMGs better, but you can just see general adjustments. Reduced view kick, that's an improvement for sure. Movement speed increase, very, very slightly. Sprint movement speed increase as well, again, very slightly, and ADS movement increase. So you're going to see this pretty much across the board on all of them by almost the exact same amount on all weapons. Trying to make them more competitive. Will it work? Kind of highly doubt it, but same thing across the board. Marksman rifles. Wow, that was said very poorly. Marksman rifles. Burst fire marksman rifles with one burst kill potential require a careful balance of risk versus reward. Having these weapons in the marksman rifle category helps to keep mobility and handling in check, but The best tools for balance are the recoil, which controls the consistency of the one burst at the same time between bursts, which directly ties to the risk of the gameplay style. We think that the burst rifles still have some room for stronger without upending, wow, reading stuff, upending the risk versus reward. So the cooldown on the SWAT and the AEK is improved. So they are making the burst fire weapons better, which have been very overpowered in the past. So pay attention to that. Burst cooldown reduced just a little bit, and adjustments to the recoil pattern within the burst. So they're trying to make it more applicable to use these weapons as a one burst weapon. Burst fire cooldown reduced with rapid fire as well. Vertical recoil penalty increased. So more recoil with rapid fire, but it is a faster time to kill. Marksman foregrip recoil reduction. So basically, you could use rapid fire with a marksman foregrip. Well focused increased. Specifically well focused. Okay, interesting. Sarkov view kick reduction, same thing. The attachments there, and then the AEK burst fire cooldown. The AEK is going to be the interesting one here. It has a bigger burst fire cooldown and no penalty. Oh, no change to the recoil whatsoever. So it should just be better. So pretty straightforward there. D13 sector addressed an issue or projectile behavior when firing into water. Score streaks suggest an issue. Audio, user interface, death recap. That's good. The ranked play updates for season 4. Restrictions update. Oh, they restricted the C9? Really? Interesting. Unless I'm reading that wrong. And then zombies. We also have some updates to weapon in zombies. Increased backpack damage for the Strider 22 by 100%. Increased ammo to 440. Wow. So basically these are all buffs. Buffed pistols, Grakova, 9mm PM. Sarkov, increased critical hit damage. Increased ADS speed. So buff to the Sarkov, buff to the DM10, and buff to the TR2 as well. Okay, pretty straightforward there. I'm not going to go too much more in depth with that at all. And then stability issues as a whole. So nothing really too crazy there. Basically, one mode, 3 new maps, new weapons in multiplayer. That's essentially what you are getting there. Now, I gotta find the Warzone patch notes. Here, this Raven. Oh, here we go. Immediately pulled up. So as far as the Warzone patch notes go, so first things first, we have the new thing. So the Overlook. This is downtown. It's a gigantic building. I'm curious to see what this one is. Does it say anything in here? The old tenement blocks, Burgertown, SK, Com Tower have been demolished. Construction crews are finalizing a sprawling skyscraper that dominates the landscape. Look for a full recon tour below. We'll be okay. So when we get to that part, we're going to be looking for the safe rooms, interactable cranes, and horizontal zip lines. Based off of this, it sounds as though there is only 4 horizontal zip lines in the entire map. Whether that's right or not, I don't know. But that's what it seems like. It seems like out of the entire map, that's what it is. I think that's what people want. People don't want these all over the place. The high-value loot zones got updated to Superstore, Quarry, and Overlook, which makes sense. The new mode is Clash. This is like your 52v52 team deathmatch, up to 500 points or 15 minutes long. Was first introduced in 2021. It looks as though you can play between first and third person view, which is kind of cool. And Last Stand and Self Revives are disabled in this mode as well. It just mentions that the World Series of Warzone is returning. Playlists. This is interesting. So Battle Royale, duos and quads. Resurgence, solos, duos, trios, and quads. Plunder, quads. Ranked play, trios. Clash, just quads. And, which doesn't really matter, by the way, it's just team deathmatch. There's no, there might as well be solos. And then Battle Royale, casual, solos, and quads. So Battle Royale, solos, casual solos is new, which is super interesting because today on stream, I was going to play solo and I couldn't get in a game. I waited like 10 minutes, couldn't get into a game whatsoever, and I couldn't play solo. So I went and played solo casuals and I could get into it. But it was solo quads. Now, I don't mind playing solo quads and casuals, but I think they're doing this because there's a lack of people actually playing just regular solo battle royale, hence why I couldn't get a game. But it says, since launching battle royale casuals, a blend of players and clearly identifiable bots, we've seen it become a considerably popular option with positive reception overall. Given its popularity, combined with our ongoing effort to keep playlist options focused and manageable, okay, so in other words, to make sure they have enough players to fill them, we are going to experimentally replace core battle royale solos with battle royale casual solos. While we understand the impact this will have for most players who prefer core battle royale solos, it is a compromise that we're comfortable given the larger engagement with other playlist options. Yeah, so in other words, nobody was playing battle royale solos, so they put it in this. Now you can get into a solo game, which actually makes a lot of sense, because I truly believe the best part of solos is that ending. And I think this will fit. I think this will fit well, but I think there will be some people who are mad at it. Now, ranked play, weapon restrictions, launchers, all perks, tracker. So they got rid of tracker, and they lootable event items and body shields have been removed. Okay. I'm not going to go through the rest of that. General Gulag players will now start with a single armor plate equipped in the Gulag. Interesting. This change seeks to help players in scenarios where no armor would result in certain weapon killing faster than intended, faster even than in multiplayer. Weird. Due to Warzone's higher damage per shot value. Okay, so they threw on an armor plate in the Gulag. Interesting. Should give better players a higher chance of winning, I guess. Loot economy. Updated the ground loot weapons, reduced the drop rate of LMGs, good. Slightly increased the drop rate of SMGs, good. Updated underbarrel and stock attachments on legendary assault rifles. Adjusted the possible optics available on assault rifles on ground loot. Lootable perks, radiated, shrouded, low profile, reactive armor, loot master, and ghost. Interesting. We've updated the ground loot to better support close quarters combat, providing players with more effective options in confined spaces. These adjustments align with the season's broader weapon balance, which we haven't got to yet. Okay, we're going to have to see what that is. Buy stations on Verdansk. Buy station locations have been shuffled to inspire fresh combat encounters with new rotation. I agree with this. This needs to be updated. Total count has been increased to 49, up from 47. They've added 2 locations. Clash, new contract. What? New Clash. A new contract where a squad is tasked with planting a bomb. Okay, fair enough. Battle Royale. Oh, is that just in Clash? I guess so. Battle Royale supply run. We know what that one is. Adjusted fire sale rewards. A free item is purchased. Gotcha. Flash grenade, flash angles increase, so small buff there. Concussion grenade buff there as well. So both of those were buff. We have the new field upgrade, which is the door barricade. Now it says Clash here. Does that mean that it's only available in Clash? Is that right? Because I thought this was going to be available in everything. Only available in the new Clash limited time mode. Okay, there's my answer. I just had to read a little bit further. Interesting. So we thought that this was going into Battle Royale. So really we have no new kill streak or no new field upgrade in Battle Royale as a whole. It is only in Clash. Interesting. Adjustment to perks. Veteran significantly increased resistance to flash and stun. Okay, so that's to counteract what they added in. Mountaineer fall damage reduction increased to 35%. That is a minor increase. Wild cards. Bandolier removed. Interesting. It's been removed in all modes. Then we have our new weapons, which we already talked about. New grips and attachments that we already talked about. Now, weapon adjustments. AK-74. Bullet velocity improved, so small buff there. And then recoil penalty for the CHF barrel. So these are going to be similar adjustments down here to the attachments that we saw within multiplayer. Bullet velocity improved. Aim down sights improved. Sprint to fire speed improved, and aim down sights move speed improved. So the movement with the AIMES 85 improved. Bullet velocity, it seems like on all assault rifles is being improved. Slightly increased view kick strength. So that's going to be one of the bigger nerfs is to the AMAX. But no change to time to kill, just to recoil. Bullet velocity improved, same thing. Same thing to attachments on the Goblin. Bullet velocity on the GPR. So none of this is really going to change. Increased view kick to the kilo. So this is weird because they're not really making guns better. They're only making guns worse. So kilo's worse and AMAX have worse recoil. Krig's better. So Krig's going to be one of the go-to 100% for long range meta for assault rifles. And yeah, that's pretty much it. SMGs, range increased on the C9. Jackal range increased. Compact 92 range increased, just that short range. KSV range increase. Ladra range increased. PP919, nothing really, just the heavy stock for that one. PPSH range increase. SOG range increase. Tonto slight range increase. So SMGs should work better at that mid-range area. So now we're going to be, unless they nerf snipers, which I haven't got to, we're going to be looking at maybe a few more SMGs used as sniper support. Maybe. Maelstrom got a buff. The Fang 82 got a range, but damage nerf. That surprises me. I don't think many people were using that one. GPMG. Oh, we also have some other changes here. Wait, I skipped over. Lower torso multiplier decrease. Reduced view kick strength. Movement speed slightly increased. So better movement speed, but as a whole, Fang's going to be worse. Damage down. These are weird changes. Headshot multiplier. So they're nerfs to LMGs. Okay, am I crazy? Is this just me? Were people really using LMGs that much? I didn't see any LMGs. Was this like a ranked thing I did? So the range is heavily increased. Like the range went from 40 to 86, but the damage went down, and then the headshot I think this makes them worse, but maybe they're trying to throw in something to compete with mid-range snipers. That's the only thing I can think of. Burst reduced with the AEK as well as the SWAT. These should be a little bit better now. So pay attention to those. Drop time improved for the TR2. Yeah, nothing is really going to change there. The ARM 4. Looks like they've increased the range of the ARM 4. So yeah, this one, I think, one-shot headshot in its max damage rate. So this is to be a competitor. This is to add in a new sniper rifle. I like that. I like that. We needed a competitive sniper rifle to the HDR. It looks like they only threw one in there, which is kind of sad, but yeah. Death recap. They've added a bunch of things to it. Adjustment, specialist perk tracking. Challenges required for perk activation will now also track progress when players acquire the specialist. Okay. Bug fixes, camo challenge clarification. Get kills shortly after sliding. Is changed to get kills while sliding. Okay. Activate 2 UAV and then nothing. Armory challenges, bug fixes. Oh, so they didn't go too much further in depth with the overlook at all. So I thought there was going to be something in here about Easter eggs, but there's not. So this is the Easter eggs were going to be completely in the dark, but it says full recon tour before. Look for a full recon tour below, which I do not see anywhere. Maybe I'm blind. But yeah, honestly, weapons are not going to be balanced much. Maybe we see a little bit more long-range LMGs, but I highly doubt it. One new sniper rifle, so we're going to be trying out that ARM 4 just for fun. And yeah, that's it. The Grau is still going to be really good. The Krig is... So it's going to be Krig, Grau, ARM 4, HDR, and maybe an LMG in there, but I don't see it with the reduced headshot damage. So that's kind of where I see the meta sitting. And yeah, Easter eggs will be finding tomorrow. So if you want to stay up to date on everything, be sure to subscribe, turn notifications on. We cover all video games over here, but I'm still covering the patch notes for COD as well. So if you enjoy it, hit the like button, subscribe. It's like a here we go again situation. Really, if you want my opinion on it, it's a here we go again situation. Same kind of update, nothing crazy, nothing wild. I'm not overly impressed. I'm not unimpressed, but basic update with nothing shocking whatsoever. But yeah, we'll dive into Easter eggs tomorrow. We'll dive into the new game modes, the new maps, and I'll give you my opinion on all of those. It'll be a So I Played Season 4, and maybe we'll do a video diving into the Battle Pass as well. But we kind of already talked about that one, so we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching. Those are the patch notes. Later, dudes.